certainly streaming. Hi. How we all doing today? Let me I didn't start this right. I did not do that. Alright, so here's the plan for today. On screen right now, this is from last week. We've certainly written. We've certainly got where we had to go. We changed directions a decent amount. We overcooked a couple of things, and now we're here. Now we're in a different spot, and I'm basically at the end. But there's a plan, couple of plans for today. How do I even want to do this? Am I not? Wait, what? Am I live or am I not? Or am I not live? That's the question. What plans for today? Alright, we are live. I'm just stupid. How do I? My bad, boss. Okay, so here is the current plan. We are going to, first and foremost, plan out some content. So plan out what we're doing for the rest of the month. We're then going to... what is the vertical? Okay, we're going to plan out some content. After we plan out some content, we're going to do the next step, which is... Hello. It's my first time doing this. Oh, this makes things infinitely easier. Oh, well, look at that. Hello. For a second. Hello. So, plan out some content first and foremost. Secondly speaking, we're going to do the next step, which is our best. So what we're going to do is plan out the month's content. We're going to be yapping. Today's a yapathon. And then we're going to finalize the script / finish it. And then we're going to start working on the next script and storyboarding the actual live film parts of it. So yeah. I got through a lot. So instead of doing a straight comparison between Scream 5 and Scream 6, Scream 96 and Scream 22, I decided that it'd probably be a better look and a better vibe overall if we just didn't do that. If we just provided ourselves like a way to have a conversation about just what Gen Z horror is and what it would probably look like in any given setting. After that, you know, that's the plan. So right now we're just kind of be going through it and getting through the day. Hi. Be sure to say hello. Sign into chat. How am I not already signed in? Insanity. You know why I'm here. Why not? Hi. Okay. So, before we get to the meat and potatoes of writing, not too much pixelated. How you doing? I'm get back into the swing of things for writing. Today, we're just kind of doing a yapathon. We're chatting, we're talking. But plan is to write out this month's content and then finish the script that you see on screen. We're going over just Gen Z horror and what that looks like. It's going to eventually turn into a massive video essay. Probably the plan for today is securing actors, actresses, and getting the actual writing done for the parts where we interject a short film scene. Think of it like a backdoor pilot type way of getting people involved into the conversation. So it's just like, we start by talking about Scream, Gen Z horror, and how, you know, shit sucks, and then bam, intercut a scene of what would essentially be like a proof of concept for a short film to make. That's the plan. I can't say it's a good plan. I can just tell you it's a plan. But before we do that, can I do this? How does this work? If I hit file, if I hit new blank document. Okay, you guys don't see that. What if I go? Is there a new one? That's the question. No. Interesting. But hello, type in chat. What do you guys want to know? What do you want to do today? We're just kind of, like I said, yapping. And I'm all about yapping. Where are you? Done. Word. Can I capture the other word? No. Maybe. OBS. Window capture. Fuck it. Window capture. Fuck it. I should stop cursing. That's probably not the best move. Still not exactly sure how this works, but we'll just quickly add a display capture and make my life easier. There we go. There we go. We're back, baby. It looks awful. It looks absolutely horrendous. Bear with me. Bear with me. This goes here. Bam. Now we're back, baby. And on this side, for those on Twitch. Bam. Bam. Fuck. Bop. Alright, guys. So, this plan, we need to... I don't know about you, but I'm very big on just formatting things because I'm a child at heart. But start with I'm a big outliner. Love a good outline. In school, I was the outline kid. I was ready to go at it. I always made outlines, and I still make outlines. I'm actually positive that's the worst way to take notes. By the way, like you're not supposed to do outlines. Because you kind of fuck yourself on like a lot of other types of like note taking, and like that's fine. I don't understand how it works, and I don't think I ever will understand how it works. We're gonna go a little bit quieter because I don't know what's working, what isn't. I'm drinking incredible amounts of caffeine, by the way, incredible amount. But where are we? I was not expecting the chat. I don't even know where this is from. I don't know what the fuck's going on. If I'm just keeping it truly with you, I don't know what's happening. But one. Alright, so what we need to do is... content. So... videos we are making for the foreseeable future. That seems like a fun little way to say that. For the foreseeable future. Videos we are making for the foreseeable future. Let's just go with breakdowns. What scenes do we want to break down? This is more a document for me because goddamn do I suck at making shit. Mostly because I don't know what to talk about. Ruby 1 chapter 8 I just feel like this scene needs to be broken down. It's pretty dope. I think it does a lot. Move to the side a little bit. Music's making me sad. It's tranquil, and I don't want tranquil. Give me something big, baby. There we go. A different kind of chill. And with that, we are no longer monetizable, baby. Let's go. Well, I can't even tell how this stream is performing. That is crazy. We're back to one viewer. That's fine. Streamlabs. Most loyal, most faithful. So, review volume 1, chapter 8, Big Bird Fight. Dora. Pole kicking scene. Pool scene. Vacation. Scene. Well, here's the problem. So it's like, there's a lot of things that I would like to talk about, and what I mean by that is like there's a lot of different The problem is that there's a lot of different things with this show that I would like to talk about. Most of them have to do with like the writing, the cinematography, the way that they use animation to tell stories, and like how those things work together and in tandem. And all of them kind of create their own little video essays, but this creates a problem of I could write entire scripts about it. I could do so much with it that, you know, I'm wearing my Tiger shirt. I'm wearing my girl on my chest, and like that's fine. You know, that's a chill thing for me to do. But it creates this other issue of like, if I talk about that, if I make that, is that going to hurt the larger essay at hand? Like what I normally do when it comes to content. Let's see, do I have them over here? No, I do have them on this desk though. Where the fuck are they? No. That's my lens. Don't want to lose that because that's expensive. Well, they were on here, and now they're on the floor. I knew they were here. I'm very prepared, as you can tell. But so what I normally do is I write down ideas on paper for different concepts of like what I want to do. So like I have like why Scream 1 is better Gen Z horror. That's what I'm currently working on. What Torador teaches us about love. It's lonely. Rent-A-Girlfriend and the abuse. Like Rent-A-Girlfriend, how it's about abuse. Yes, I firmly believe, and I'm not kidding about this, this is a hot take, but it is a take nonetheless, and I don't really know how to set myself up here, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna put myself out there, and I'm gonna say it. Excuse me. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Rent-A-Girlfriend is not about what you think it is about. Rent-A-Girlfriend is an abuse narrative, and you need to hear me out here. The manga goes on longer than any romance should, alright? Even Domestic Girlfriend, longer than it should. My argument is completely based on the fact that change takes a long time, and Kazuya and Chizuru had a clear off-ramp at the movie, like after making the movie, where he says, my girlfriend. When he does that whole argument, when he does that whole thing, that whole speech, and this show gaslights you, this manga gaslights you into believing it's a rom-com. It's not. It's about the cycle of abuse. It's clearly about the concept of you can't change, you can't get over it, you can't come into something different. And you have Chizuru, who's a clear enabler. You have Kazuya, who's a clear pussy. And that's just the reality of the situation. That's what it's about. That's it. Now, does the mangaka think that's what it's about? No. Does the fandom think that that's what it's about? No. But the cool thing about art and the cool thing about writing is the fact that it doesn't really fucking matter what you think it's about. Because it just is. It just is about that. Like, I could sit there and I could write a story about, a guy who jerks off all day. And I have. I have written that. It's going to be filmed at some point. It's a short film. It's called The Man Who Jerked Himself Stupid. But either way, the concept is just, if you're going to be doing this and if you're going to be having this conversation about abuse narratives, then they need to be different. They need to be handled well, and you don't really get the opportunity to make this argument without doing this. Like, even if he's milking it, even if he's doing, trying to keep it going for as long as humanly possible, your art still is going to take on a form that you can't control then. So it's like, it doesn't say, yeah, I'm currently milking it. It says, yeah, I'm gonna draw panels of her getting railed by another guy and Kazuya being hard in a pool because I guess that's character growth and not an abuse of the fucking narrative. But that's just me. That's just my argument. I firmly believe that Rent-A-Girlfriend is about the cycle of abuse. And I'm willing to argue that till the day I die. Hello. And now we're back. I'm a big boy. I'm aware. That goes there. Okay, cool. So, it's like, but I do like the My Girlfriend Is scene. I also really like the speech. Like, the problem is that, they would make really good full breakdowns. But it's like, it's the problem of, effort versus time. Because you want to be in the alg, but you don't want to be, beholden to it. So it's like, how do you create low effort things that you can shell out once a week that are visually engaging, or audience engaging, but still have time to focus on things that are much larger and much more difficult to create. That's kind of the spot you're in. Alright. So we also have, revenge is cool, and I'm sick of pretending that it's not. I think revenge narratives where revenge is alright, revenge stories, when they're actually done right, are just stories about justice, and I'm sick of pretending like revenge is not the coolest fucking thing ever. Alright, how not to adapt a series, and then it'd be about Rosario Vampire, about how that series just got completely butchered. Brotherly love and the way to making amends, that is about Full Metal Alchemist. What makes something scary, and then we would do a writing deep dive about how horror actually works and about how you basically just write comedy but with negative stimuli, and that's more or less how you do that. And then a goofy movie and the cost of identity, which is, those are all medium form 20 to 30 minute bitches that all do their thing. We have shorts as well. We have a DoorDash 2-sentence horror thing. Dead Person on the Ground 2-sentence horror. That's about some shenanigans. That's about basically somebody lying dead on the floor with a slow pan in. So you gotta imagine it would slowly kind of get bigger if you look at my face here, and how I'm slowly getting bigger. But it'd be a relative movement, so it'd be trucking in, not a zoom in. And what that would do is it would create this inner monologue of somebody saying something along the lines of this is my 4th time now, and I would want to create it in a way where it makes you think this is a serial killer reflecting on the fact that they have to murder each time. And then the final trick at the end is the person sits back up with the knife stabbed through them, and they just sigh and go, I guess they're not actually dead. And then that would cut to black. So that's something. I have something for White Knights of Chatham. Now, I wrote this, and I really have no idea what I meant when I wrote this January 4th. Kid into bird watching while his parents' divorce happens in the background. I don't know what that is. I have no fucking idea why I wrote that. I have no concept of what that even means, but I wrote it. So that's supposed to be about, I'm guessing he's sitting there with binoculars, looking around going, oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful white titmouse. And then in the background, you hear glass breaking and the decay of a family unit in real time. And then something that says, quote, sexting masterclass. I'm just gonna, guys, listen, all right, listen. I'm gonna keep it a trilly with you. Can I be heard? Can you hear me well? I hope you can hear me well. I'm gonna keep it a trilly with everyone, okay? And like, this is the part that you kind of have to understand. It's a lot of these ideas are when I wake up at 3 a.m. from a dream, and I just type furiously into my phone, and then I look at them the next day being like, I totally remember what was said. I don't remember a fucking word of what was said, and that is just the conversation. That is it. That is the end of the discussion. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that being how that is. I really am just yapping today. Today is the Wednesday Yapathon. Is there a way for me to type? How do I type? Stream chat. No. Okay. No. Let's see. Twitch. Anything? Hi, Tom. I don't know why I'm looking at Streamlabs and it's not really doing what I want it to do. I hope you're still here. Is there a way for me to type? No? Maybe? That's frustrating. I wanted to say hello. Can I say hello? Oh. How do I do this? Hi. I did it. I fucked it, but I did it. Thank you for following, by the way. Yeah, I'm currently trying to just get through everything. I don't really know what I'm doing, but that's just the day. How goes it? How's your day going? You having a good one? I know I'm just kind of yapping right now, but I am just talking about the things that I find interesting. I'm trying to figure out content. Tom, do you have any ideas for content you would like to see broken down? Like, do you have a favorite movie? Let me see. I'll ask you straight up. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Let's start there. Tom. All right. You can hear me. Good. I can't complain. I'd love to complain, but I can't. It sounds like someone's here. Or maybe they're not. I don't know. I hear things going on in the background. Revenge of the Sith. Ooh! Ooh! Okay. Okay, you want to hear a fun fact about the Revenge of the Sith? Because I have a really fun filmmaking fact about Revenge of the Sith. I'm assuming you're going to say yes. So, Revenge of the Sith, basically, the scripting of it is insane. Like, George Lucas is not a great scriptwriter. And the reason why I say this is, famously in Revenge of the Sith, the Battle of Fates at the end? No, not the Battle of Fates, because that's in Phantom Menace, but in Episode 3, when they're on, Mustafar and they're fighting, it literally just says in the script, they fight. Now, mind you, traditional action writing, what you want to do is basically have it where you're like, they fight, and then you use the actions they're called action lines, so just what characters are doing. So what you're trying to do is you want to use action lines to be like, hey, this characterizes the person. This shows that they're quick thinking. This shows this. George Lucas said, fuck all that. George Lucas went, they fight. 2 pages later, they're still fighting. And then he just choreographed the whole thing because he was, you know, it's a space opera. It's like what he wanted to do. But it's really funny from like a script writing perspective because it's just like, they fight. You're not supposed to do that. like you're really not supposed to do that at all. You're supposed to be like, well, you know, Anakin parries with his, like, going this way, and then this happens, and then this, and then that. And instead, just, they fight. They're still fighting. Goes on for 5 pages. Just, they're still fighting. They're still fighting. So, like, everything you see on screen, just versus the script is, they're fighting. They fight. They're still fighting. It's so silly, but I do love it. I love the concept of it so much. Because it's just like, I guess you could just do that. So yeah, that's my fun little, that's my Star Wars fact of the day. I'm still working on content. Fuck it, that would actually be a pretty fun video. What is the Battle of Mustafar even called? What is Battle on Mustafar? Called. But I do hope you enjoyed that. The Duel of the Mustafar or the Battle of Mustafar. Damn, they really just called it the Duel of Mustafar and not, but Qui-Gon against Darth Maul is called the Battle of Fates. That's some shenanigans. Oh wow. Oh wow, there's one thing I love about drinking caffeine-fueled addiction. That's cool. I hope you're having a good day. Why Battle of shouldn't work, but does. Have you ever read actually, she was asking, what's your favorite book? I'm interested. I want to know all about you, Tom. I want to know what your day's like. I want to know what your vibes are. I hate to say this. Mustafa? No. There we go. But does... Let's see. What else we got here? I really want to talk about... I want to do something like... Tra? I don't know what Tra is. Let's see. Oh, it's all good, boss. I don't know. Alright, listen. I'm not particularly good at streaming. I'm just kind of here, getting through the day. You know? I'm just moving through. Oh, the Trials of Apollo. Okay. I actually have not read that. Is that like a Greek thing? Oh, Rick Riordan. Coolio. Is this like a spin-off of Okay. Is it like a spin-off of the Percy Jackson series? I always really wanted to get into the Percy Jackson series. Oh, okay. Have you ever read the Everlost series? It's actually pretty cool. It's like it would make a really good Netflix like original limited series because the concept. Really, you read Everlost? That's so cool. I always thought it was so cool. Now, for those who don't know, I know there's only one viewer, so you know, I'm not gonna mansplain it here, but I'm just trying to get through the week. But for those who don't know, Everlost is basically a story about these kids who die, but I'm very happy to know this. It's really cool, but it's like these kids who die, and it's like you get put into the Everlost, where it's like you don't go to heaven, but you don't go to hell. You're just kind of dead, but you're a lingering spirit in the afterworld. And it's really fascinating. It's got 3 books. They're all fantastic. And if you're just interested in like a certain supernatural kind of element with like really messed up implications, but without like, but still keeping it like a middle grade type story, I highly recommend. Highly recommend. Very, very interesting. Very fun to read. No, is it tab? No. Is it it's enter. Fuck yeah, baby. We're back. We're so back, baby. I'm sorry. No, one of the better works. And then I want to do the Cliche Cafe. Now listen. Listen, okay? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna say something that is gonna be a self-glaze, and I'm okay with self-glazing sometimes. If there's one thing that the Beefster has always been okay at, and I mean okay, because calling me good at something would be a lie. I am very average at titling things. I love a good title, love a good vibe, and the Cliche Cafe is a title that I can get behind. So, something I've always wanted to do is, I love cliches. I think cliches are really cool. I think cliches are really fun tools that writers can use as shorthand. They're a good way for you to come out and be like, hey guys, I want to do something. I'm trying to make something interesting, and this is my way of doing it and creating the story I want to create and getting it done. I think when people come out of the woodwork and say cliches are bad or cliches are dumb or cliches are unneeded, it's not that I think they're liars. I think they don't understand the importance of what a cliche does for your audience. Like you're not trying to be rude. You're not trying to be like... Thank you. I really appreciate that, Tom. You're great. You're a great guy. Great guy, Tom. But like, there's something really fun about a cliche. Like, when you think of like the airport cliche. So, you know, like when you watch a movie and then you're watching a rom-com and at the end they go to an airport and you're like, this sucks. I love it. I love seeing them at the airport. I adore the airport scene, because here's what it does. Think about it this way. Logically speaking, in a romance, you need to have conflict, because conflict needs to be a part of your story. And because conflict needs to be a part of your story, you have to do a couple of things. One, you have to establish stakes. What are the stakes? Well, realistically, most of the conversations about whether or not, like hypothetically, you realize you're in love with a girl. You realize that you're willing to change for a significant other. What's the difference between, like, what makes it immediate? What makes it an immediate thing that needs to happen today, right now? The answer is nothing, really, other than your own need and want to do it. So you need to establish some form of stake. You need to establish something where you're like, well, how do I make it known that this is a will they or won't they? This is a make or break. Oh, let me just put whoever on a plane and they're gonna be gone forever. Let me just make that an immediate stake, so that way I don't have to worry about it. Like, people hate cliches, but I love them. I love what they do, because they just make things easier for you as a writer. So, like, the point, though, is cliches are bad when you don't understand what they're doing. if you think a cliche is just there to be like, well, I don't know, let me just put them on an airport, let me just do that because that makes sense. Like, they don't make sense. Exactly. It's a simple explanation. It's a simple way to just do something and establish something deeper without needing to do a lot. But I've had a plan for probably 3 to 4 years now because I wanted to make a rom-com and I want to do a short thing, and the concept is basically make them a college couple that has no money. Put them in a drive-thru of a Wendy's or a Starbucks. I don't know about you, Tom, but where I live, the Wendy's drive-thru takes about 20 fucking minutes for like 2 cars. Put it there and have this conversation of like her being like, or him. I write from the perspective of a guy because I'm a guy, you know. I never said I was a great writer. I just said that's just typically the perspective I write from because I don't really think it's fair. Like it requires a certain level of empathy to be able to write from perspectives that you don't have, and like I'm just not there yet as a writer. That's just me, and you know what? I'm not gonna apologize for it. What I will do though is say that what I'd want to do is have it where she's like, look, the relationship's not gonna work. I don't see a point of this, and drive it home where, you know, valid look, valid take. I want to do it though where it'd be like, film it where they're in the drive-thru, and each time the car moves, his and her perspective would be a really fun way of doing it, actually. Because what you could do is be like, you're presenting, or create a third-person narrator in the story, so that way you know what both characters are thinking at the same time. So instead of getting both perspectives, you just kind of keep them there. I'm talking specifically about a scene, not a book. So, like, keep it where you get to know what each of them are coming from and why they're coming from there. Kind of like a 500 Days of Summer situation, but instead of saying that Tom, the main character in that movie is Tom, and he is considered a POS, and I think it's ill-founded, you know? I won't defend Tom because he's wrong. Like, he's objectively wrong in that. That could be pretty fun. Okay, so a mate or future child. Well, it wouldn't be a third guy. It'd be like the actual narrator themselves. So like they'd be like, Tom, all right, it's not you. It's not you, buddy. Okay, it's unfortunately the world that they put you in. They made you a low-key incel in this movie. That's not your fault. All right, that's the fault of Mark Webb. Okay? That's just the situation. Those are the stakes. That's what's happened. I'm sorry. But what we're going for, or at least how we would go about, in my head, how we would go about it, is we would try to create a web where she's just like, look, it's not going to work out. And then you have this guy pleading and fighting for this relationship as they're about to order, like, dude, it's 500 Days of Summer. If you haven't watched it, please do. Like, you will love it. You will genuinely... Well, I wouldn't say you will love it. It's one of those movies where it does a really good job of, like, presenting a breakup, like what a breakup is. And we have a very unreliable narrator named Tom. And Tom is in love with Summer, and it just doesn't work out for him. That's not a spoiler. That's, like, the third line of the movie is that this is a story about a man who meets a woman. That's it. Not a love story. It's more of a breakup story. But Summer gets a lot of like defense, and the movie does a job defending her as well. And I think it's not fair because hypothetically speaking, I as a guy, let's say I have a girl, right? I meet a girl, and then her best friend comes into the fray. And she's like, hey, she likes you. And I go, really? She does. And they go, yeah. And I make it clear, just as friends, right? We're just friends. That's the situation. We're just friends. But she goes on a spiel about believing in love, believing in how much love is important, and that type of thing. And I say, I don't believe in love. I don't think love is real. The next fucking day, Tom, the next day, I practically assault her at work. I hit her with the kiss of a lifetime. I then make her go through roughly 6 months of refusing to put a label on it, refusing to do any of that, knowing how she feels about me. And then we get into a fight. And then I show up at that fucking door after getting into a massive argument with her. And she leaves because she was defending me. And I show up at that door and she says to me, look, I'm okay with us not having a label, but I need to know. I need to know that you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and feel differently about me. And I look this woman in the eyes and I say to her, I can't give you that promise. No one can. I'd be a villain! Right? Like, there's no shot you say shit like that, and you're not the villain. Like, you are the villain. And, like, the movie presents it where it's just like, she made it clear she didn't want anything from the start. Sure. Tom was 100% in the wrong for trying to put those expectations on her. Completely agree with that sentiment. I completely get that. My problem is that she's not completely innocent. So stop saying she is. Stop treating her like she did nothing. Like she did fuck all. Like clearly she did something, right? Like it's a story about a breakup. Both parties can be wrong. Like both parties can be wrong in a breakup, and that's okay. Like the mature way of dealing with this movie. But Gordon Joseph Levitt, who plays Tom, says that he played him as a villain. I don't give a fuck. I don't. You know? Call me old-fashioned, but I think characters should have accountability for their actions. If people do shitty things regardless of their gender, they should be called out on doing shitty things regardless of their gender. And Summer did shitty things regardless of her gender, the same way that Tom putting unrealistic expectations on her was a shitty thing to do. Right? That's fine. That's okay. That's what you want out of a movie because it's a good movie. But like, god damn is it fucking annoying. Like what? Why are we doing this? Like there's nothing wrong with the conversation around that, around having it be one of those things of like, both of these kids, they're not kids, they're like close to 30, but both of these people are still immature at their age, and their relationship was a stepping stone towards self-actualization. That's fine. But having the conversation be centered around like, he was the villain, he did the wrong thing, and she did nothing wrong. No. Okay. No. Like, we can all do things that are shitty in relationships. Most people suck. You know? Most people suck, and that's okay. And I'm okay with them sucking. I suck. There are a lot of things in my relationship that I wish I did differently. 'Cause I suck. But through grace, through love, through just changing over time, you start sucking a little less. And as it goes on, like, it is a really good movie. It genuinely is. And it just, like, my frustration has absolutely nothing to do with, like, it has nothing to do with the writing. It has nothing to do with, like, the fan base, like, making Tom to be the only one that has any level of, like, accountability. It's mostly just, like, the movie presents is like, so she told you what she wanted, and then you didn't listen to her, and now you're the one who's upset about her. It's just like, okay. I use this analogy a lot, if someone told me they were a necrophiliac and then proceeded to defile my mother, my dead mother, and then a bunch of people come at me and tell me I'm wrong because they told me, because that person told me what they were going to do to my dead mother, and I have no right to be upset about, fuck you, okay? Just fuck you. No, that's ridiculous. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. And, like, you notice this so much with modern content, and, like, it's something that, like, actually really, I won't say, like, grinds my gears, but it's something that, like, I think about often, because it's like, why are we having that conversation? Why are we doing that? Like, you can criticize things without it being intentionally rude or mean. Like, we do so many conversations around this, and it's just like, okay, why? Why are we going about this in a way to be like, this is above criticism? It's not hard to criticize something. Well, it's actually really, really hard to criticize something properly. It's like, there's a way to critique things, and then there's a way to not critique things, and most people don't critique things. And the way most people critique things is, I told you who I am, so you can't fault me for telling you who I am. I can still fault Ted Bundy if he tells me he's a serial killer, you know what I mean? Like, I can fault you for doing that. Like, if I walk around and I tell you I'm not a good guy, I'm a fuckboy, and then I play with your heart, destroy your feelings, and make you feel like less of a human being, yeah, you have some accountability. Like, yeah, you still have something going on there, but, like, there's a level of self-actualization that needs to happen. I just be yapping, Tom, you know? Just be yapping today. And I apologize for that. I'm just getting through it. I'm just getting through my own feelings, my own emotions. But, you know, I'm multi-streaming right now, and I really can't tell if the YouTube one is working or if I'm just a silly Billy who has no idea what's happening. I can't really tell you if I have any views on the YT, but I'm kind of letting it rock. The Vert stream, good. I should have recorded this. I should have recorded this. Damn it! Because there are so many shorts that could be made. Fuck. Alright, next time. I'm trying to stream once a week on Wednesdays. So, like, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so, Cliche Cafe, obviously, airport scene. The Smart Atheist, look, it's not a religion thing, it's just more of, like, a interest thing to me, where it's just, like, you're telling me that the smartest person in the universe is godless each time. Like, it feels like a trope, and it's not a trope that I think is fun. I really want to see a scene, and I would love to write a scene where it's a dude who, like, is smartest person in the universe and, like, believes in a higher power. Doesn't matter which one, but believes in a higher power. Like, is agnostic about it. And they're like, well, how did you prove that? And just like, it's an unknowable. I flipped a fucking coin. Like, it's like, why do you believe it? I flipped a coin. It was a 50-50. It either exists or it doesn't. And I flipped a coin. Easy. I think that's a better characterization than, like, I know everything, and because I know everything, like, I know this with certainty, when it just... Exactly. Like, the majority of scientists are religious, and it's like the concept is to kind of be like, it's an unknowable, and because it's an unknowable, let it be an unknowable. Like, having that character be like, I live within the universe, there's no way for me to know what exists outside of it. So, like, that's fine. Same with, like, a multiverse. Like, for all you know, the higher being is a being that is purpose is to create multiverses. So, like, there's no way to know, and because there's no way to know, that's perfectly fine. So I think that'd be a pretty fun thing to like talk about as a cliche and like deconstruct, I'd be down to do. What other cliches do I actively find silly? You know, Tom, let me ask you. You got a cliche where you're like, this is it. This is the one. And let me sip on this monster, which ruins my ability to speak. I have a cat somewhere, but he's hiding. Montgomery Mole, wherever you are. I don't hear you, Monty. I am checking my phone for posterity. No. Oh, perfect. What do you mean that was on Sunday? Insanity. Ah. Yeah, but Tom, do you have like a specific trope that you like? Hi, new viewers. The love confession in the rain. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one because the way the weather. It's gonna sound so stupid, but the way the weather acts as a swell of emotions that just need to pour out, and the way that the scene works, like on a psychological level, where it's basically the pouring of the rain is like you're finally letting the floodgates out, you're letting your emotions be seen, and those emotions are affecting the world around you. That's a fun one. That'll be a cool one to do. Let's see, what other no, I get it. I get the love-hate of it, but like it's so fun. Hi, you. Hi, I was here. How's your day going? Do you I was here. Tom, this is not someone in our chat on Twitch, this is someone on YouTube. Do you have a trope that you love, like a cliche that you would like to see deconstructed? Because that's what we do here. I'll ask, because I just want to know. Part of me wants to do villain monologues, but it's like, I don't know villain monologues good enough to deconstruct why they're fun. Well, no, I don't think the word deconstruct is right, because I think being a deconstructionist is inherently cringe. Like, what do you deconstruct? Fucking build shit. Stop deconstructing things. Deconstruct. Build. Alright? Building is inherently dope. Deconstructing, inherently lame. I said it, and I meant it. I meant it when I said it, and I said it when I meant it. Because, like, again, why are we trying to deconstruct every little thing? What's the point in doing that? Cliche conflict. Cliche cafe. Let's do a, Midnight Fridge Talks. Can you be more specific, Savannah? I want to know what you mean. Midnight Fridge Talks. Are you saying, like, people at midnight talking? On a side note, do I really want to defend fridging? Okay, Beef. Let's think. Let's think. Yes, I talked to myself in the third person sometimes. Okay. If we defend fridging, we risk a lot. We risk a lot. But I think I can do it. I think I can really defend fridging. Because it's like inherently, yes. Introducing a female character to then murder her just so the male has motivation to go off and start their hero's journey. Barbaric, fucked up, not okay. I get it. And you gotta hear me out here. But the story's not fucking about you. You know? Thank you, Surrounding Derriere. I appreciate you telling me how to get cheap viewers. Unfortunately, I don't care about clout, and I also am not a whore. Well, I shouldn't say that, I am a whore. But, like, I'm not doing that, but I appreciate your time. Thank you. So, because it's like, when I say it's not about you, what I mean is, like, obviously the journey of, like, when a fridging happens is, like, is to shake somebody out of their routine and bring them into a hero's journey and bring them into the next step. And it's like, yeah, there are a lot of ways to do that incorrectly, and it's mostly done incorrectly, and it's not good. But, like, to sit there and inherently kill it, it's like, yeah, if you look around you in life, most men do things for I mean, lack of a better word, female attention. So, like I know guys that got into sports because they wanted a girl to like them. I know guys that got into... There's something about meeting at a fridge for a midnight snack that brings... Ooh. No, but I like this. Okay, I will go with it. Let's see. So, the... Alright. Now, Savannah. I'm just gonna... Do you mind if I rework it a little bit? Because I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't think the fridge is the right word. But I know what you're talking about. I think a better way to word it is like kind of like a sleepy confession. Midnight fridge talk. And what I mean by that is like you know how you have the deepest conversations at like 2 a.m., right? Or when you're gaming at 2 a.m. or you're on the phone or you're texting like late at night. I think what it is that it's kind of like your brain shuts off like certain processes where it's just like why am I up right now? And because of like that lack of it, those do work in some cases, yes. So like I think that lack of like restraint at that moment kind of gives you courage to talk about things you normally wouldn't. Now, you know what's crazy? Tom, I don't know if you were here for it, but I was going over my shorts, because I write on paper to like come up with ideas, and I was trying to figure out what I meant by sexting masterclass. I remember what it was. So I had so fucking stupid. Okay, so I remember what it was. It's this concept called tapping hours. So, tapping hours are... Now, I have no idea how old the audience is here. Okay, I'm happy you were there. I don't know how old the audience is here. So, tapping hours, for those over the age of 18, if you're under the age of 18, then this conversation is not for you, obviously. But tapping hours are a concept for adults where it's just like, am I staying up to have a conversation with this person, or am I going to sleep? Tapping hours are basically you having a conversation with somebody after the time you normally be asleep. Because really what it is, especially like people you have a crush on, or a romantic partner, it's like, why are you talking to me when you normally be asleep? It's a question. It's a real question, and it's a real answer that people want to know the answer to. Like, it's a real question that people want to know the answer to. And realistically, if you're having conversations in tapping hours, which can be 10 p.m. or 2, it depends on your schedule. It's normally when you're going to get it on. It's normally when you're going to be doing that. So the video, this short, was going to be a masterclass where I just explained the concept of tapping hours. And how the whole thing is just like, yeah, that's... valid, which I never know how to answer. It's true. You know, you don't know how to answer it. But, like, yeah. So, tapping hours are just that concept of, like, you're up later than you should be, and you're talking to somebody who's also up later than they should be. And it's just like, why are you up? Oh, hi, Sav. Nice to see you. Basically, like, what I mean by this is you're going from one concept to the next, where it's just like, look, why are we up? Why are we having the conversation? What are we talking about? Normally, it's going to turn not safe for work quicker than you think it would. And, like, that's fine. I think Ryan's here. Apologize. My friend showed up, but yeah. He is probably going to be on stream in a second. But, so, the concept was just tapping hours. Basically, tapping hours went over the whole concept there. But that was the idea. Sleepy Confession, midnight. I think we could do something here and maybe talk about, like, how at night people tend to just be more honest with themselves and be more honest with what they want to do. And I think that could work really well, and I think that could work as a nice concept. Fridging. Oh, that's bright. I mean, that's not what I wanted. Fridging. What's everyone's thoughts on monologues, like villain monologues? Good, bad? I guess the villain revealing their plan. I like that. Yeah, the villain revealing their master plan. I'm down to talk about that. Listen. Sav, Tom, I would... See, it does depend on the villain. You're right. But the concept is that, like... I also like when they get interrupted. It's like, So, the point of the Cliche Cafe, for like, content's sake, is to be like, hey... These are cliches, they exist. The reason why they exist is pointed... That's true. When they have a reason to be a bad guy like Vader, it does take on like a different point. But like, the idea with this is to be like, hey, we're having this conversation and we're talking about this because it's like throughout a movie, throughout a piece, throughout like wherever you're gonna find it, you're presented clues, and audiences need to feel smart when you're writing. And like and that's not to say that no one, like, you're not smart or you're incapable of like knowing something. It's more to be like, you want to feel smart. You want to feel like you're doing something. And the best way to do that is to have your villain, who has the master plan, at the end monologue and talk about it and do something with it. And that's ultimately because if they're not going to monologue, if they're not going to talk about it, if they're not going to do that, then why are they there? You know? Why are they there? And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it's very much something that you can figure out and get through. Is that the right word? Figure out and get through? No, it's definitely not. Come on, Beef, you gotta bring it back. Okay. You're basically doing it so that way you can have the audience feel smart, because audiences need to feel smart, and it's not because you're not smart, it's just because if I make you feel smart and you feel like you figure out the twist before the twist happens, it makes you appreciate the twist more, because then you're like, I knew it. It's like, I don't know, have you guys seen Fight Club? Have you ever watched Fight Club? Like, it's a Fight Club thing. It's like, hello, my headphones aren't working right now. Can you chat instead? I can try, you know? Hi. I'll stay with you. Will do my best. Oh no, it's sending to both chats. Fuck it. We'll do my best. Currently, currently talking about so like we're currently talking about villain monologues or revealing the master plan. So I do like the concept though of like getting to this point where it's like they need to be so egotistical that they have to reveal what they're doing. I think it works. I think it works in a way that you wouldn't expect. Revealing master plan. Tom and or Sap, whoever is still here. Do you have any other tropes or cliches you think would be fun to talk about? Ooh! The power of friendship. I can't spell friend, I spelled fried. Whoops. Fuck. Okay, ow. Come on up. Currently just yapping to stream. If it's one, but when a crime show, give the... True. Okay, so what we have, I don't know, obvious fest. Ooh, that's like, red herrings. Fun fact about red herrings, they basically, they're named after a fish, because I guess that fish smells real bad. You wouldn't expect it to smell real bad. I forget why. I looked this up like a little bit ago after I watched, I want to say I saw it after I watched 22 Jump Street. Because they literally name him they put a red herring on his arm, which is so silly. Red herring origin? Yeah, origin, baby. I can't think of words. Originally in the 8th English journalist Cobot uses the term as a metaphor to describe a misleading information. In literature, red... Yep. Okay, the term red herring also... why was it used that way? Maybe logical fallacy, literary device, audiences towards a false conclusion, a red herring may be intentional, mystery function, rhetorical strategies may be used, argument, individual, blah, 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 blah. Strong smelling to divert. Oh, so it was used as a strong smelling smoked fish to divert and distract hounds from chasing a rabbit. That's cool. Okay. Guys, listen. I have a really weird thing where I'm like super into like origin of words. Like I love looking up sayings and like the meaning of like the origin and stuff for that. Not exactly sure why, but it's a fun little thing. Yes, etymology. Like, I just have, like, a real fun little thing for it. Let's see. Can I respond to you directly? No? Let me try it this way. Sorry. Douchroom Daily. I don't normally, but I can more often if people would like... etymology. I can do this. Guys, listen, alright? I don't stream, like, at all, so I'm learning as I go. But, like, I think this could be a really fun way. But, like, okay, so where was I? I'm sorry. But, like, I think etymology is a really fun way to, like, understand, because do you play on your streams? What? I don't know what you mean. What? I think a good question is just, what do you mean by streams? Oh, video games. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it really depends on what you want to play. I'll play a bunch. I can set something up at any point. Currently, what I'm working on is I'm just trying to get content and, like, ideas done. Because I should probably show you guys what I'm working on. So, basically... Un momento. That goes there. Are you play game? Yeah, I can play a game. Which game? See? So currently what I'm working on is this this video essay, and the video essay is about Gen Z horror. I don't know how old everyone is here, but I am 25 and I'm a part of Generation Z. That's my thing. That's where I'm at in my life. And so I wanted to try to do a weekly stream as like a behind the scenes thing. Nice to meet you, Tom. And so I've not tried Valorant. Have not tried Valorant, but seems fun. I'm very bad at most FPSs. So what I'm trying to do with this Scream one is basically say that Generation Z, horror has always been a part of the conversation for generations. So your grandparents who grew up during the Soviet era, basically would have had something like Revenge of the Body Snatchers, which is like a metaphor for Soviet panic and like the Red Scare. Your parents who would have been a part of like Generation X or like millennials had things like they were called latchkey kids, and latchkey kids basically just meant you had a key and your parents just let you do whatever the fuck you want, and this resulted in a lot of serial killers. So suburbia was considered no longer safe, and then we got movies like Halloween. Go for it. So like when we watch something like Halloween, what we end up getting is like suburbia is no longer safe. You're no longer safe to be home. I also just okay. Ooh, lamb shitting emotional moments. Wait a minute. Sorry, went to the wrong thing. I'm adding that one because I think lamp shading. Emotional moments. If you are interested, good work right now. Just starting out and audience. I can go to Discord. So basically, where the fuck was that? Lampshading would be like really fun, because it's like, okay, I need to get back to my train of thought. So basically, you had like the way that these concepts in like horror movies, they always represent like a generational fear. So millennials ended up getting like the Blair Witch Project, which was like the onset of the internet age, where it blends horror and reality. And the way you, where is this? I should probably bring this back to a spot where you could see it. So like it blends reality and horror. The problem that comes out of that is basically we get to Gen Z, and Gen Z gets this weird. Well, it's a found footage. It's a found footage movie. That's like, think of that as the medium, and what we're talking about is like the dynamics that make the medium work. So like we have this concept of like most of Generation Z gets repackaged millennial shit, and it's there's really nothing there. a lot of times we get considered like elevated horror, or we get like a lot of stuff. The argument I'm trying to make in this video is just like, we're being called apathetic, we're being called a lot of these names, and the problem is that I'm not apathetic. I'm not apathetic at all. I've joked about school shootings. I've joked about awful, horrible events. That's because when I was 8, I don't know about you guys, but I saw someone get beheaded on LiveLeak when I was 8 years old. I saw my teachers go out into a hallway and start sobbing when I was 12 because some fucking psychopath went into Sandy Hook and shot a bunch of kindergartners. When I was 17, I was in my homeroom scrolling on Twitter when Parkland happened. And it's like, yeah, the ringtone. Like you get to a certain point where it's just like you internalize these fears in a way where it's like, this is scary, and the real world's very scary. And I don't think horror in the last 20 years has really done a good job of like providing a way for like us to just be scared. Like, yeah, I don't want to fucking die, but like if I sat there, you know, if I sat there and like somebody asked me, oh, what are you gonna do if somebody comes in? Die. I would die. I would fucking die so quickly. I'm dead. It's over. It's Jover. It's Jover for the kid. And that's fine. But like, there's this issue of like, why are we being called nihilistic? Why are we being called nihilistic? Why are we being called apathetic? I'm not apathetic. I'm not nihilistic. I'm just not, you know? I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, you know, if some maniac comes in with a gun, I'm gonna fight him off. No, the fuck I'm not. Fuck, are you kidding me? No shot. No shot I got that. But I tried. But we're working through this, and Sav, I don't think you were here for it. Tom, you might have been. The goal is to basically backdoor in a bunch of like short film-esque like skits, kind of, and see if we can make it work. Well, you're right. My problem is that like I don't know if you can read what's on the screen. Let me get to the point. The tone immediately says in the movie, no one's safe, target opinion, brutal, nope. Throw a phone call, nope. I don't know if you've seen, Sav, I don't know if you've seen Scream 1, but I think it's probably the best or closest we're gonna get to Gen Z horror currently. Nah, it's like, we need it. We don't want it, we need it. Because, like, horror is it's catharsis for people when they are scared. You should 100% watch the original Scream. It is very, very good. It is one of my favorite, it's my second favorite movie of all time. It's actually amazing. Yeah, like, Scream 1 is the perfect Gen Z representation. Even the only thing the movie gets wrong is the fact that, you know, characters pick up a phone number, like a phone call that they don't know the number to. Could not catch me doing that shit. Could never catch me. Where was it? American Dream, Dry, Nihilistic, Piece of Society, blah blah blah. I found it. So, right here where my mouse is, I don't know if you can see it, Sav, but what I'm saying is modern horror keeps asking me if I'm scared. Like, of what? The slasher outside my house? Cool. Do you want me to be afraid before or after I checked my bank account to cover rent this month? Before or after I wonder if the world is melting? Before or after I try not to think about the fact that one day someone I might love just might not come home? Fear isn't a monster in the dark. Please do. yes, 100% number one chief mantra is the Goofy movie. Goofy movie is the greatest movie of all time. I will not hear otherwise. It is the perfect film. It is a film about identity and trying to find your way in a world and connection with your parents before it even happens. If you look at the shot choices, if you look at the cinematography, if you look at everything about that movie, what you're going to find is that it is by far a banger fucking movie about one thing and one thing only: identity and connection. It is amazing. I love it. It is my favorite movie. God damn, is the Goofy movie a good fucking movie. But number 2 is Scream from 1996. But so what I'm trying to get at here is just like fear isn't in the dark. It's something you live with every single day. It's background noise. And I really don't need to watch a scary movie to make me feel scared. I'm already scared. I need a scary movie to tell me it's okay to be scared. And like, so much elevated horror, which is the most popular form of horror right now, doesn't do that. It doesn't tell me it's okay to be scared. It keeps trying to scare me. Like a good Generation Z horror movie would come out and say, listen, I know you're scared. I'm scared too. But it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to have that feeling that nothing is okay and the world is fucked up, and that's a good place to be in, because you being there means that you can finally start to process that. But instead of getting that, what I'm getting is, if you have ever received any form of trauma in your life at any single point, you should just self-delete. You should just end it all. Now we could, and if you're wondering where I'm getting that from, I mean, Hereditary, what did they do? I mean, see, the Wolfman, well, his father was a Wolfman. Let's see, Smile, I mean, set yourself on fire because, your mother abused you or some shit. Like, so much elevated horror just says if you've ever had trauma ever at any point in your life, you're better off just kind of ending it. Horrible message, by the way. That's not cathartic. That's not helpful. That's not anything. And I'm being told that Gen Z, so the generation I belong to, that's my only option, to just end it. That is the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. So, this video essay, which I'm hoping to get made soon, is to be a response to that and to examine the first Scream movie, which I think does a really good job of allowing you to breathe with the horror of knowing that everything's kind of messed up right now. Like, it really does upset me. Like, in the dumbest way possible. But I'm very close to being done with the scripting of this, and I have the first scene. One of the people I work with is the influencer, like, Yale Zero. Like, I help her. I'm not gonna say I help her out. We're friends, and so, like, we're friends from high school, and I don't think she would deny that. I at least hope she wouldn't deny that. But I wanted to start it, like, intercutting in this video essay. I want to intercut, like, I'm using the term backdoor shorts as a way to be like, if people like these, then we can turn it into like a short film. But I wanted to do it where the idea is we start, like, the opening is, it's this girl and she's excited. She gets up, she does a morning routine. Think of it like a coming of age movie. And she goes downstairs, she does her whole morning routine, and then she realizes, oh, I'm late for school. Downs a glass of milk. Uh-oh. Everything changes in that one scene. We could probably do a really cool Dutch angle as we, like, go in on her. That doesn't sound, pause, not go in on her. But as we truck in, what we could see then is we can then take the camera and do it, like, just Dutch it up, you know what I mean? Like, just get it real Dutchy, get those lines angular, get those lines diagonal, y'all feel? And so after we do that, the next step would be basically having her realize and have that terror set in that she has just drank a lethal amount of bleach. And for the first time in her life, the idea is that she had an eating disorder, she had bulimia. First time in her life, she can't make herself throw up. And then she dies. And then we would cut to her quote-unquote friends at school, and just normal kids, and they're yapping about it. They're like, huh, not surprised, and they're like joking, and they're above it, and they think that it's a whole thing where it's like, oh, we saw that coming. But the reality is that she didn't want to die. So I wanted to frame it like it's a final a final destination type thing, where it's like fate is going out of its way to kill these kids that have unresolved trauma, and then we go through it and we get through the story, and we eventually get to a certain point where it turns out, no, they just have a classmate who's obsessed with people, and they're like, hey, if you've ever experienced any form of trauma in your life, you should just self-delete. And it's just, that's kind of the idea. And like, I wanted to have this sort of work in a way of like making fun of and mimicking the idea that like trauma isn't a death sentence, so please stop acting like it is, and then we can do that. So yeah, that's that. Oh, here's me getting real. Here's my rant about Scream 22. Now it's time to talk about the shit show. I will say there's some lines in here that I think I outdid myself on. Because I get very frustrated about certain things. Like I think there's a current crutch in media about things being meta, in the sense of like, what does meta actually mean? Nothing. Meta means fuck all. To be honest with you, it really means fuck all to me. Like, no, you're not meta. You're just kind of a, like, it being meta doesn't make it good. It being meta is just an aesthetic. It's not a mechanic. It's doing its job. Montgomery? My cat's like in my room. I'm trying to see if he'll come out. I don't think so. He's very skittish. Where are you? All good. I wanted to say this line like, you had a chance to critique modern elevated horror, but instead you sucked its dick like you were playing the skin flute at Carnegie Hall. Like you were playing the skin. I think it'd be funnier if I say it as the first. Come on. As the first share. Because it's true. Don't answer your problem. Fuck you. Alright, so I'm at the last part, but I'm getting off topic, everyone. I have to get back to it. No. There we go. We did the Cliche Cafe. I really like that sound. Can I ASMR this? Apologize. Let's do Minute Film Schools. Let's talk about us. Ooh, my neck. What do I want? I want books, movies, television, Minute Film School. What is a Minute Film School? Let's do green screening. Let's do masking? No. Dude, I don't know. What's like a good Minute Film School? What's a good way for you? What's a good way to get into it and be like, yeah, that's a vibe. That makes sense to me. It might be. It's Wet Hands, so let's see. Oh no. I don't know why I did that to myself. My bad, everyone. I'm just checking out my own thing. I'm still live, baby. And 2 are watching. Nice to see you on YouTube. Thank you. I'm a big Minecraft fan. I'm a big video game music fan, as long as it doesn't immediately get taken down. I should have recorded this. Damn it. Anyway, Tom, what is a good minute film school? Green screening. Ooh. How to make fake blood. I think how to make fake blood would be pretty fun. Buy it? No. You can. Here's the problem with buying it. If you want to buy it, it's like. Nah, it's actually just water, red food dye, and or red food coloring, and cornstarch, and you just mix that up. You can add cotton balls for consistency. You can add a couple other little things, and it'll make it. You'll chef it up pretty well, actually. And the reason why I want to do that is because it's infinitely cheaper, and then you can mess with consistency and make it better. And like you can buy fake paint, like you could buy fake blood at like a dollar store, but it smells bad. Looks bad. Not a fan. Not generally a fan of it. What else would be a really fun one? Dude, perfect. How to make a fleshlight. No, fuck. Just grab your mom's handy dandy sponge, rubber glove, and a couple rubber bands, you know? Not rubber glove. Latex glove and a... Yeah, what? Sorry. I thought I switched it over. That's my bad, boss. This is the one. And we can get rid of that one. My bad, boss. And then I'm just gonna do this so I'm just a little bit easier to see. Sorry about that. I keep on getting silly billied. So we have green screening, how to make fake blood. Let's do 3-point lighting. Sav, what filmmaking techniques would you want to see like in a minute film school? I got green screening, how to make fake blood, 3-point lighting. I think any breakdown of the 7 visual elements, and to better explain this, make a video on all 7 showcasing what they are and how they put together frames it up with thirds. That's actually pretty fun. So we can do that right now. Actually, give me 1 second. Work together to create something? No. They work together to create a movie? No, fuck. Create the story on the story. So let's see if we can. Okay, that's my back. Let's see if we can do this. Doop. Come on, you. There you are. So this is my camera. Now, I've been doing this for a very long time, so you don't need to have what I have. And I will never tell you to get what I get, because you could do this shit with your phone. That sounds... Is this dead? That's insane that that's dead. Where did that die from? Interesting. Un momento. Ah! Does that work? Oh no, I unplugged it. I'm a silly Billy. Well, do I have any batteries? I don't. I can't do this. I can't show you it there. My bad. But here's my camera. It's a Nikon Z6. But basically, frame something with the lower thirds it's actually a pretty simple process. We're doing it right now. So if you look at your screen, easiest way to do this is to just kind of start in your head putting a third on everything. So let me see if I can. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. There's like 40,000 different composition guides that you can do. Like, actually... One second. So you shouldn't feel worried about trying to figure it out, because it's not... It's important. It's not that important. No, that's a lie. It is important. But, like, it's not important in the way that you're gonna, like... If you break the rules, you're gonna die. Rules are made to be broken, and that is the first step of all filmmaking, is that if you're going to have a rule, break it. Because fuck the rules, I got money. Let me just... Can I do this? Let's see. Now this is either gonna work really well for me, it's gonna work really bad. Let's see. Create. And I can't see you right now, so just bear with me for a second. We're gonna go. No, there we go. And boop, boop. Sorry. Does it correlate at all to the golden ratio, or is that... I can't even pronounce that word. Cacheresis. So I'm gonna say maybe. No, it's more of just a framing rule, in the sense that the golden ratio is like the spiral, and so like that's a mathematical thing of like 2.2 something. I can tell you that it does not catch up nearly as much in like... Fuck, what am I doing? That's not what I wanted to do. I want this... Add new source. Gonna call this Photoshop. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. Give me like 1 second. I'm trying to get where I gotta be. See, that's not right. Unless it is. Let's see. What happens here? Alright. Why is it doing this? I'm learning in real time how this works, because I don't understand it, and Adobe really hates me. What the fuck is this nonsense? Un momento. Put this over here. That's not the right spot. Oh, wow. It shows you nothing. Cool. Leave it to Adobe to be no help at all with anything. Alright, give me 1 minute. I wanted to show you guys this, but just... Un momento. Okay. Yeah, I want to delete Photoshop. Okay, so basically, da 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 da. Basically, Tom, the rule of thirds is a way to composition a frame. So it'll make a lot more sense in literally, I'm gonna say 2 minutes, but it's the way that you go about setting up your frame, so that way you can make things work. That's not the right term. I'm sorry. I'm like doing two things at once here. I'm being a silly goose currently. Okay. Bad pattern or overextending the scope of a pattern. Okay. No, like the reason why I'm saying you don't really see it that much is just it's not like you're dealing with the frame. You got to understand that what you're currently looking at, and when I say, please don't take this as condescending because I promise you it's not. You're currently looking at a flat image on a screen. So the flat image that you're looking at on a screen does not exist. Behind me, this is 2D. What you're looking at is you're looking at depth cues and you're looking at perspective. Like you're looking at just different forms. The screen can only ever be flat. So your mind makes you think it has depth. Your mind makes you think that those chairs are behind me, that I'm in front. That's what it does. That's its job. That's what's going on. So like everything you're seeing is going to be that exact thing. It's going to be fake. It's not real. Nothing you see is real, except for your actual eyes. That's real. That stuff is very real. But anyway, unimportant. I'm being dumb real quick because I'm trying to add this thing. I want to add a video sound clip. How do I add a picture? No. Media. Perfect. Image. Add source. Please enter. Rule of give me 1 second. We will go over this. Okay. So, hi. Wow, people on the internet.com are not going to be happy about this. But we're gonna do it the way that we do it. Is there one? Okay. So I have to like fix the other one now. Yeah, I just had to make this real quick. So let me show you. Perfect. Okay. So if you look on the screen right now, right? Each of the 4 vectors or intersections, they're I told you, I said just give me a second, I'm working on it. I had to make this real quick. So basically what you're seeing is going to be action areas. So if you notice where my face is on the upper right little vertice. And the reason why that is your eyes naturally draw to these 4 intersections, and you need to know how these work and play together. So when we're talking about the rule of thirds, literally it's just how you frame a shot. You can put me here, you can put me over here, you can put me down here, or you can put me over here. If you look at the way that this current frame is composed, what you're seeing is you see me up here on the upper right hand corner, and you see the picture stuff on the right down there, and your eyes are going to be drawn to those 2 spots the most because that's where your eyes are naturally going to be drawn when you look at a frame anyway. Ugh. Oh, my neck. But what you're going to see is you're talking about deep focus. If you're talking about deep focus, I think what you mean is something like high depth of field, right? You're talking about if there's a lot of stuff that's in focus. basically, where that gets to is, sounds like my roommate is burning my house down. Nice. Okay, whatever. He'll deal with it. So, excuse me. Recompose. So, when it comes to a high depth of field, basically what is going on is you're letting in a lot of light and you're using the lens to... Is it hot? Is it a lot? Let me double check. Un momento. Oh, you bitch. Not you. Never you. Never you. Talking about my stuff. I have my other camera here. This is a Panasonic GH5. I always get this backwards because I'm a silly Billy. It is... There we go. So, if you can look on here, what you're seeing is... That's at an f/22, so your f-stop is high, which means that the iris inside the camera is small. If I go to the f1.8, it lets in a lot more light. Reason why it's letting in a lot more light is so it can see more, obviously, but the concept is that you have to okay. Let me make something clear. Not talking out of my ass here. I'm just trying to make sure I say this properly because there's a lot of ways for me to say this wrong, and I'm trying not to do that to you. So, what you're going to get at here is... I need to charge those. What you're getting at basically is... Deep focus is... This is small, so that means... It needs to pull in more light for you to be able to see. Because of that, the way cameras generally work is they scan across. Like they're scanning every individual pixel. They're being filled. The light is filling it up. And like... you're creating a higher depth of field like due to that because you need to have more light in general. So it's a smaller hole that is... Am I saying this right? Give me 1 second. Before I just say something stupid, let me double check. Okay, yeah. I'm very happy I looked this up because this is what I was trying to say, but now Google has said it much smarter than me. Okay, so the small hole is allowing more, like a wider cone of light. Right? No. What? That's not right. Distance, focus, narrow depth of field, but that's with a high iris, so, I mean, a wide open iris. What the fuck? That's not right. I believe so. I want you to know, I literally just threw on chill and cozy game soundtracks so that way there's music while I'm trying to figure things out. Yeah. Millimeters don't really matter. Right. Now, Google is saying it creates a wider depth of field. I guess that makes sense. Like, instead of small pinhole opening, creates a wider thing. And then we open the iris up, iris becomes oper, and then that cone gets shorter because it requires less light for it to fill up the screen. I mean, cameras are just faux sights, and then they have, well, it depends on the camera you have, but they basically just use faux sights, which get filled up, think of them like wells that get filled up with light, and then nothing can really truly be like white or black. I'm sorry. Because, like, cameras just don't work that way. Where are you? There we are. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. we'll include it. Let's see. How depth of field works. No, because there's not like there's different types of perspective. So there's first, second, and third person perspective. I think that would be a great thing to talk about. I think that would provide a lot of fun for everyone. Let's try. I think I'm just kind of sorry this thing because I was just fucking around and here we are. We're chatting, having a good time. Let's see. Tom, I have no idea if you're still here, but if you are, I hope you're doing good, buddy. But 3-point lighting, breakdown of 7 visual elements, maybe showcasing what the 7 are and how they work. Yeah, that'll be pretty fun. I need to figure out more scenes to do a breakdown of. Like, what are fun scenes? Or what are scenes that do a lot? I think there's a lot of Breaking Bad scenes that we could do this for. Because it's like, I want to break down stuff that people don't care about, because I think that's a lot more fun. I also am a really big fan of bad content. Like, I love bad content. Love bad content. It was Tubi Tuesday yesterday, baby, and I love me some Tubi. But, like, I want to break down. What is Moonfall? Let me see. I'm going to say maybe. Ooh. Let's see. Roland stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, John Bradley. Ooh. A lot of names. Follows 2 former astronauts alongside a conspiracy who discovers the hidden truth about the moon and suddenly leaves or shot in Montreal. 130. Where are people getting $150 million to film this shit? It's an independent movie. Who made you? Who did this? Roland Emmerich, produced by Roland Emmerich. So that would mean German. He's 69. Nice. Fiction, disaster films, master disaster movie. So what? Most of which are English language have made 3 billion worldwide. Directing the Noah Ark Principle. Universal Soldier, Stargate, Independence Day, Godzilla. Yeah, no fucking wonder he's able to do this all by himself. This man made every goddamn... Yeah, this man is insane. Good on him. I love things that are so bad they're good. Let me see if I can pull this up. Well, I definitely can. Un momento. Of course, I hope you enjoy. I hope you drop a follow if you can, Tom. If not, totally understand. But I really appreciate your time. Where are you? Where are you? I want one of these. I want this. I want this. I'm going to call this Google. If you want to see Dearly Beloved, damn, dude, love that. Let me go to, yeah, this works for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's a great gift. I can't ask for more. I shouldn't say I can't. I wouldn't ask for more. That's a better way of saying it. Frame it as a way of gratitude, Beef, not as a way of fucking negligence. This is like my alt. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to move you over here. Alright, let me show you one of my favorite bad movies ever. I actually have 2 of them. First one is going to be Now, if you ever want to watch a movie that is insane and has weird, famous people in it, The Dirty Deeds. Now, it's not a good movie by any means. Wait, there was originally, wait a minute. Okay, that's crazy. So they remade it in 2005. That's so stupid, dude. Okay. So, basically with this movie, which, oh, that looks bad. Fix that real quick. Bam. So this is a movie that's more or less about a high school that has what's the word? It's about a high school that has like a tradition where they, during homecoming, do 10 increasingly difficult deeds. But one of the most interesting things about it to me was the fact that the way that they made it or shot it, it basically works as like a really interesting dynamic world building scenario where they get to do a lot with a little. So like, genuinely a big fan. I shouldn't say genuinely a big fan, but like it's a very interesting movie. Another really fun one. Like, you're giving me so bad it's good, and like I when I tell you I enjoy very dumb movies, here's another one. This movie is not good. Oh my god, he did what he had to do to get through. Is there a Wikipedia for this? Please tell me there's a Wikipedia for this. No? That's insane. There's nothing better than when the movie doesn't have a Wikipedia, let me tell you. So, like, this movie was basically about a guy who decided that being in relationships, I guess, is not worth his time, so he's gonna be a jerk instead, because girls love the jerk. And it's not good. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. But what I really like about it is I like the concept of, like, he does all the music in the movie. Like, he somehow manages to do the entire soundtrack by himself. So, like, you can get the soundtrack on Spotify. Now, I assume if I play it, I'm going to get taken down. If I do, that's going to suck. But he has a whole soundtrack. I'm going to try to hit it real quick. I'll give you, like, 5 seconds of it. This is the soundtrack that was made for this movie.
What in the world was I thinking when I went and bought you those flowers and candy?
Yeah, so that's Jerk Theory. It's the dumbest movie ever, but it's free on YouTube, and I cannot recommend you watch it enough because it is a movie that should be studied. Same with The Dirty Deeds, movie that should be studied. Why? Not because it's good, but because how much it could have, like, how good it could have been. Let's see if I can do this. Is there a way for me to test the opacity of this? Hide from vertical, hide from horizontal. Huh. That's a good question. I think it's diegetic. It's diegetic sound is what it's called, but it's like it's weird because technically speaking, diegetic sound is like sound you hear in the movie. So like yes, it's diegetic, but it's also like the entire soundtrack for the movie is this guy just kind of doing it himself, which works in a weird way because it's like it's just this highly creative thing of like they didn't have to do that, they could have just did a soundtrack, but I think he just wanted to have Transdiegetic. Why do I not know that one? I'm actually working on let's see. I have a plan for like a Oh, I get what you mean. That makes sense. I actually have a plan for this month because I want to try to do something. It's like I should turn the music back on because I don't like the fact that there's no music now because now I can hear myself talk, and then that makes me not insecure. What's the right word? Insecure is the right word. So let's try to make it where it's not the same song. There's Wet Hands, title. Oh God. Oh no. I don't want to hear the same music, and if I do, that's going to make me upset, but it's a piano, and I'm not going to say no to the piano. But so, what you're going to do, which is actually a pretty fun little not concept, what you're going to do, which is a fun little vibe, is like, no, not vibe. What I'm going to do, that's the right thing, train of thought, get back on it. I plan on trying to do a vlog where I could train into like NYC, and what I want to do is go to the city and try to find independent artists and see if they let me use, I can't show you it because it's currently recording my voice, but use my Tascam recorder. Gonna try to pay them like 20 to 30 bucks and then get master recordings in the sense of like, hey, I am an independent filmmaker. I want to make a movie. I really like your sound. Would you be interested in playing this song, like playing original piece for me? Basically, I only got 20 bucks. I'll record you right here, right now, and I'm gonna own this recording. So this is mine, but you own your song. Do whatever you want with it. And yeah, that's it. And try to make it clear that it's like, I'm going to own this version of the song in perpetuity forever. And I'm going to use it in whatever I see fit. Which I hope doesn't come off as rude, because it's not supposed to. It's just like, it's hard to find music. It's like really, really annoying. So I just wanted to fix that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's like 10 more. Let's see. We have movie, book movie, movie book, movie took movie. Book, no. What am I thinking of? What's a scene that actually really gets me going? That doesn't sound right. What's a scene that makes me... No, doesn't sound right, do it. A scene that I enjoy the filmmaking of. It's like I want to do the Scream opening shot, but I'm already doing the Scream opening shot somewhere else, so it doesn't make sense to do it again. I feel like a lot of Breaking Bad scenes could work. A lot of... I guess not me asking for help. Go for it. If you wanted to do your name, a silent voice, I'm Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue would be fun. I've not seen Redline, so I'm down. Nami asking for help. Let me see. I don't know if you've ever seen I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, but that is a great time. Why have I not heard Redline? Ooh. Madhouse? What? Plot. Unplanned doors for JP. Yellow car race. Ooh. Yeah, I'll check this out. I'm not gonna say tonight because tonight feels like a cope. But I am going to check this out because it's now on my thing, so I have to look at it and I have to watch it. So that's expected, you know? Sunshine in my pocket. Do I know that one? Let's see. Oh. Ooh, that'd be fun. Doing music videos could be a really nice one too. Maybe doing like I love a good AMV, but depends on the guy doing the AMV. These are fun. Now, my media-informed content I have. Let's see, we're at Minute Film School, what perspective does to a shot. Oh! Ha! I respect it. First, second, third person perspective. Hey, you know, we've all been there. No problem with it. It gets you going where you gotta go. I think you mean pocket full of sunshine. I think that would be a better reference to that. I got a pocket full of sunshine. Yeah, there you first, second, third person, and how to shoot. Ah, you're fine. We've all been there. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I got a love and I know that it's all mine. Wow. Do what you want, but you never. Music? No. Be crazy, because I am the most lyrically challenged human being on earth. Genuinely, just I am not good at lyrics. I never have been, and I never will be. And that's just the situation. That's always going to be the situation. I'll take that. I'll take that to my grave. What the fuck can we do? Chicken nugget. No. Okay. What am I thinking of? We have the breakdowns we want. We have Cliche Cafe, Fun Time, Breakdown, Minute Film School. These are all shorts. I need to... Video, essay, shorts. Now I'm going to watch my own content because I'm a child. Where are you? There you are. There you are. Not bad. I'll take what I can get. Take it. This video sucked. But this video, it's a good time. Now, I just want to watch it in YouTube.
A good
Stop that.
video starts with a good song. Go to Artlist and get the best music for your video.
Please go.
Can you
Thank
tell me if there's something that you're not good at, or maybe something
Where?
that you're scared of?
Something I'm scared.
I don't want that. I want this one. I want this. And I want... I'm like trying to get through this quick. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. I have to watch this and it's like weird because I'm gonna have to watch. No, not video capture, window capture again, and we're gonna name this one. Wait a minute. I am dumb. Watch and learn. Setting capture. I did the field works. Watching me. Where are you? Give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. This is right. It's not right. Damn it. There we go. This is fine. And boop. And boop. The only other thing I really had to do today was just finish writing and get this thing done. So that's kind of the plan. Yes, I am not specifically trying to watch my own video. I'm just more of watching it so I can get the thing I want out of it. Boop. Boop. I'm looking for like shorts and clips to make out of this.
There's something that you're not good at, or maybe something that you're scared of?
Something I'm scared of.
Well, there's
What?
a lot.
Yeah, right. Elle's not scared of anything.
Well, I suppose monsters.
Me too. I am too.
Dummy, Elle's not the same as you.
There are many types of monsters in this world.
Oh, this looks
Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters.
They pose as humans, even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat,
Currently,
even
I'm
though
drinking
they've never
the White
experienced
Monster like a
hunger.
child.
They study, even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship, even though they do not know how to love. If I
Can
were
also
to
hide this
encounter
for
such a
right
monster,
now.
I would likely be eaten by it. Because in truth,
Don't worry, everyone.
I
This
am
is
that
my
monster.
content.
Can I ask you a personal question? What mask do you wear?
There we go.
No, really. Take a moment and think about it.
I don't know what to
Are
do
you
for
someone
a
who
short
appears
here.
caring and selfless, while a vampire beneath the surface sucks the life out of others? Do you present yourself as composed and rational, only to lose control in moments of stress like a werewolf? Maybe your mask is invisibility, a ghost that goes unseen, hiding insecurities or desires you fear are going to overwhelm you. The masks we wear aren't just hollow faces we show the world, they house insatiable monsters.
What is going on?
Our flaws, fears, and desires
Yeah,
lurking
what the
just
hell?
beneath the surface. These monsters aren't separate from the mask, they are born from it. They are not inherently evil or
I
vicious.
cannot wait for the
They're
next
us.
video to have much
Just
better
the parts we don't like.
sound quality.
Maybe you are kind and caring, but have a bit of an anger problem. Maybe you are loving and thoughtful, but a tiny bit overbearing. Or maybe you are confident and cool, but just have a hard time giving up control.
I don't know.
That
what to
surface
do.
isn't fake, and the depth isn't the only truth.
Yes, we're
we
watching our
don
own
these
video.
masks
Thank
to
you.
get what
I
we
am-
think we need. Connection, love, validation. But the monster in the depth always lurks. The anger chips away at the kindness, the overbearing nature twists the love, and the control reveals your insecurities. You never master the mask, you just wear it. You never defeat the monster, instead you pick and choose when to let it out. The question is not whether you have a monster, it's whether you know how to live with it. Because your agency, your ability to choose how you wear the mask and manage the monster inside, that's what makes the difference between whether it serves you or devours you and those around you. So, what are you good at?
Not much.
What are your flaws? Most
You know how it
importantly,
goes?
what part of yourself do you need to keep under control the most? Me? Well, my name's Beef and I'm a leprechaun. My mask is one of approachability.
am.
It invites people to open up, to feel safe, and to share their deepest secrets. But within that mask, there's a monster with a sharp wit who's quick to judge and is always ready to cut people down without hesitation. And if I'm being honest, while I like meeting people and my mask allows me the opportunity to see them for who they truly are, I don't...
Saf, keep it a buck with me. You think this would be a good short? Just doing the what monster you think?
don't always want to engage. A monster wants to push people away and insult their problems. But that's where the hard work comes in. I bite my tongue, I listen, I force myself to care, not because I want to, but because I know what happens if I don't. I lose out on the very thing I put the mask on for in the first place. Connection. The monster isn't some external force, it's me. It's the unintended consequences of wearing the mask I chose. The qualities that make the mask effective, like approachability or charisma, also give rise to flaws and impulses that can twist those traits if left unchecked. The goal isn't to get rid of your monster. That's impossible. It's about learning how to wield it alongside the mask. When the monster starts using the mask as a cover for its own desires, that's when the real danger begins. Masks, monsters, if this all sounds confusing, let me simplify. You exist. As a byproduct of your existence, you have goals and things you want to achieve. To reach those goals, you craft a public persona, the mask. The monster is the collection of unintended downsides tied to that mask. Since we choose how we act in public, we choose the mask we wear. We do not choose the monster inside. The only thing we control is whether or not the monster acts, whether it eats or devours. Each time the monster eats, you risk corrupting your mask and making it lose its purpose. For example, if I let the leprechaun act with impunity by letting people in and immediately cutting them down, no one would ever want to connect with me, and I wouldn't blame them. My mask loses its purpose, and now I'm just a drunk Irish short guy in a bar telling people about gold and calling them idiots. But
damn right I am, baby.
When to let the monster out and he convinces a greedy guy to chase the end of a rainbow, I can maybe get someone to buy my next round. Your monster isn't inherently bad. It's dangerous, sure, but it's also you.
This may be the last ad you see. With Pi
we even make money on these.
Websites and watch ads disappear.
It takes vigilance, self-awareness, and control to utilize it in a way that serves you rather than itself. The stakes can be as small as a ruined connection, or as massive as catastrophic consequences for yourself and
this
others.
video only has 30 views, and
like
I feel like
control.
that's not
It's about
the
staying true to your purpose. I hope that clears things up.
For it.
This was more for me than you guys. Y'all are wicked smart, and I'm just kind of trying to follow my own metaphor. It's like really dense, and trust me, I came back to this a lot. Writing this, yeah, it was a lot. Sorry. Anyways, next section.
This part,
Monsters in Death Note may seem like two completely different things, but they're not. Every character in Death Note wears a mask, while their respective monsters use those masks to battle for dominance. That's what makes it one of the most exciting and suspenseful pieces of media ever made. Not just Death Note, you'll notice a form of this dynamic in every well-written suspense piece. Maybe you've seen all the theories, essays, and fanfics dissecting morality, justice, and godhood. I mean, I know I have, but I'm not here to talk about morality.
Thank you. I try to be funny.
For the purposes of this essay, I don't care about what Light did. I do not care about what Elle did. I'm here to talk about the masks we wear and the monsters inside of them. I don't think Elle's monologue at the beginning of this video was just a clever reference to the show Monster, or an interesting way to introduce Nier and Mello. I believe that monologue acts as the driving force behind every character interaction in the show. We could talk about every character, their masks and monsters, but Misa's love, masking obsession, or Matsuda's duty, masking insecurity, are not why you are here. You're here for the big boys, the powerhouses, the dynamic that runs the show. You are here for the no-holds-barred death match between Light Yagami's monster of ego versus Elle's monster of apathetic detachment. And if you're still here, first, thank you. But second,
YouTube has it up.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Strip it and rip it and strip it. Rip it and strip it? That's a good name. I am proud of this.
For Light and Elle, their masks are the driving force of the show's plot. They both wear the same mask of righteousness, but hide different monsters. Light hides his monster of control, ego, and his own god complex, while Elle hides his apathetic detachment, need to be correct, and his own ego. Both are two sides of the same coin, but their agency and how they wield their monsters are night and day. Behind every decision that Light makes, his ego takes the lead. In contrast, L's agency picks and chooses when and how to act. He uses that detachment to reveal only what is necessary to achieve his goals. His name, his face, even his emotions are pointed tools used to attack whatever the current goal is. Ironically, it's L's
It was a
detachment
short.
and
I did do that
objectivity.
as the first
You
one.
could also say, trying to connect / think out loud, to set the first domino for his demise in motion. His refusal to engage emotionally isolates him. This forces him into risky moves like showing his face to Light or telling everyone his plan to test the 14-day rule. These choices ultimately expose him to
What I
forces
find
beyond
crazy
his
is that
control.
we're at the
Like
8-minute mark, and it
literal
really doesn't feel like 8
basic
minutes.
feels
So I feel like I did a good
suspense
job,
in
at least for the
Death
first
Note
8 minutes of
isn't
this
about
video.
morality or justice. Think of those things like paint and decor. The suspense comes from these two monsters, Light and L, hell-bent on devouring each other. One must consume the other. Their struggle is a perfect depiction of what happens when the monster within the mask is
need
either
to
controlled consciously or is
I
allowed
gotta
to
get a
act with
deep pop it.
impunity. In the case of Light Yagami, we could say that Death Note itself, or rather his first choice to use it, gave his monster an endless source of food. 2 weeks after his first kill, when Light shows Ryuk the Death Note, he isn't just proud, he's defiant, almost elated. He declares his goal to the audience.
I will become the god of this new world.
At this moment, he fully embraces the mask of righteousness. After all, he's
I know
killing
that.
criminals. People are already judged by their peers and punished by the system, but Light seeks to overwrite that justice with his own divine hand. This could be seen as the moment Light surrenders to his monster, allowing his agency to align with impulses most
then I
people
can
try to
record
suppress.
these
However, it's
tomorrow,
reductive
and
and
then
incredibly
get-
boring to say his descent was inevitable from the start. So, for the purposes of exploring the thesis, let's
Get
break
Friday's
his
video
journey
done.
down further. Through his handling
Make
of Lindell
shorts.
Taylor, we see what a monster unchecked looks like, and when he
And
deals
finish
with
Friday,
Naomi Pember,
and
it
then
terrifyingly
Monday
shows
show
how a
recording.
controlled
Okay.
monster operates seamlessly through its mask. During the second episode of the series, we're given a glimpse, or rather, a promise, of what this show is about. Light Yagami is an unassuming, above-average high schooler murdering people he deems evil. Criminals. He starts with the lowest of the low. Meanwhile, the world takes notice. Governments panic as crime rates plummet and prison populations mysteriously fall. Amid this chaos, a man with a laptop appears who has a plan in hand to catch this killer. While Light and Ryuk are in
God,
his
I love
room
Ryan.
watching the news and killing criminals, typical high school senior shenanigans, a special worldwide broadcast interrupts them. On screen appears Lindell Taylor, a man claiming to represent law enforcement. Light is thrilled. He's finally being seen, acknowledged, called out. But then...
However, what you're doing right now is evil.
Fun fact about monsters, they
I don't think that's a
hate
fair-
being called out. Light's ego spirals. His god complex, carefully fed and nurtured by his mask, is threatened. Evil? No. Light is righteous. Light is good. Light is God. And when God is threatened, there's only one answer. Divine retribution. Yep, that's right. Faced with his first moral challenge, Light lets
I
his
think that could be a
mask's
good short.
darker impulses take over, but Light's triumph is short-lived. The screen changes to reveal the letter L. Not the kind that Light just took, but the name of the world's greatest detective, and also the second and third greatest detective. L directly challenges Light, explaining how he orchestrated Taylor's trap, and revealing how the broadcast was only in the Kanto region of Japan. For the first time,
Don't
Light is
think more of
shaken, not just by the fact that L outmaneuvered him, but by how exposed he was. In this moment, Light learns a valuable lesson. To achieve his goal, his monster alone won't cut it. He needs his
Yeah,
mask,
he really
and he
did just
needs
do that,
to
like,
wield it
damn.
better. After being challenged on live television, Light doesn't accept defeat. He adapts. L enlists the FBI to investigate Kira, assigning agents to surveil families connected to the Japanese police force. Among them is Ray Pember, tasked with tailing the Yagami
Mr.
and
Pember?
Aizawa families. Ryuk informs Light of this surveillance, and Light, anticipating such a move, sets a trap. Using the Death Note in a staged buzzjacking, Light forces Ray to reveal his name, sealing his fate, and inadvertently causing the deaths of every FBI agent involved in the case. Ray's actions are often criticized as careless, but that judgment overlooks the complexity of his situation. In the busjacking orchestrated by Light, Ray's mask of authority and instincts as a seasoned agent drive him to intervene. He overhears someone, regardless of who it is, claiming they will play hero, and acting on logic and training makes a calculated decision to reveal himself. If Light had been a typical high schooler, Ray's
Probably could
actions
skip this
would have
part.
been effective. Instead, Light's monster exploits Ray's trust in his role, turning
do
it
that
into a
again.
fatal flaw. It's a chilling
too far
reminder
off.
of how
You can barely see
masks,
it.
which are meant to protect or empower us, can be weaponized by others against us. Ray's death leaves behind Naomi, his fiancée, who immediately...
I should say that, or make it clear that basically, I am very hypercritical of the things I make. So, like, if we're going to be watching it, you will probably hear those comments.
Steps into the fray. The audience knows she used to be a detective who once worked alongside Elle. Naomi had set her career aside to start a family at Ray's insistence. With nothing left to lose, she resolves to bring her theory straight to Elle. By chance, Light encounters Naomi at the police station. He overhears her pleading to meet with Elle, and his interest is piqued. Naomi, driven by her mask of determination and resolve, entertains Light for a moment. Sensing an opportunity, Light presents himself as exactly who he is, the police chief's son, and offers to escort her to the task force headquarters. Their interaction becomes a masterclass in manipulation as Light's monster dismantles Naomi's defenses piece by piece. Naomi, who's wary of Kira's abilities, initially gives a fake name, a precursor to Elle's own caution later in the series and a demonstration of Naomi's own deductive capabilities. When Light's first attempt to use the Death Note fails on her, he recalibrates, exploiting her trust and need for validation. He convinces her of his authenticity and claims to be a task force agent. Naomi's monster, a desperate need to help, drives her to lower her guard, reveal her name, and get eaten by Light.
You know, I'm happy I'm making money, but I mean, it's my own video. You would think that they would tell me they would stop.
Her death is much more than a
damn
plot.
YouTube.
It is a testament
Thanks.
to Light's mastery of his mask and monster. He does not overpower Naomi. He exploits her humanity, turning her best traits into vulnerabilities. It's a chilling demonstration of how trust can be and will be weaponized by predators. What makes this episode so impactful is its grounded realism. Light's manipulation mirrors real-life predators who use charm, authority, and empathy to disarm their victims. Figures like Bundy or Dahmer similarly wielded their masks to devastating effect. Much like Light, their actions aren't supernatural. They are terrifyingly
I'm currently
human.
just watching through
Naomi's
this video.
death shows the grim reality of what monsters in action
Working
look
on
like.
a-
Light used her mask and fed her monster just enough.
Hello? What's up? Yeah, I'm currently streaming. Why? Okay.
Enough to placate it, and then proceeded to devour her once its defenses were down. The horror isn't loud or over-the-top violent. It's the quiet sways of manipulation. It's not the Death Note or the Shinigamis that create fear, but rather the young adult who charms, lies, and disarms you, because the wolf in sheep's clothing is scarier than the known beast outside the fence. It reminds me of an analogy I heard as a kid. In
I
life,
didn't like that.
there are three kinds of people. Sheep, wolves,
I know why
who
I
eat the
did
sheep,
that, but I
and
don't know why it
sheepdogs,
sounds
who have
that
the
way.
same teeth as wolves, but use them to protect the
I agree with
flock.
that.
Generally, I'm not a fan of analogies that reduce people to oversimplified categories, but the idea that sheepdogs share the teeth of wolves always resonated with me. Elle Lalette, aka Elle, the world's first, second, and third best detective, is a sheepdog. He embodies ideals similar to Light's and wields a comparable monster, but the way he uses it couldn't be more different. Personally, I don't think Elle would have cared about the Kira case if it hadn't intrigued him. Like, Elle's curiosity, detachment, and ego are his monsters at work. What separates the sheepdog from the wolf, however, is agency. Elle uses his monster to confront the wolf, directing those impulses towards a higher goal. With Ray and Naomi, we saw what a wolf can do in a henhouse. With Elle, we see what happens when a sheepdog sets its sights on a wolf. From the moment he sets the trap in episode 2, Elle makes one thing abundantly clear. Kira, and by extension Light, is his bitch. While the trap taught Light the importance of control, it gave Elle an even more valuable insight. Kira's greatest flaw is his ego, and egos are easy to exploit. In that single moment, Elle asserted dominance over Light, flipping the dynamic from predator and prey to a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where Light is perpetually on the defensive. Now, after bitching Light, Elle secures authorization to involve the FBI, tasking them with monitoring potential suspects. The move ultimately triggers the death of all the agents, including Ray Pember, and it's here that Elle's monster, his detached apathy, emerges. His actions are strategically sound, but his failure to disclose his suspicion erodes trust within the task force. After all, accusing your coworkers and their family of suspicion while the main evidence is basically, yeah, the way your son eats potato chips, kinda sus, doesn't inspire confidence. To keep the investigation alive, Elle leans into his mask, carefully managing what he reveals to maintain the team's cooperation. This early breach of trust forces L to take 2 calculated risks, revealing his face and extending his thought process to the task force. These moves, while uncharacteristic, are necessary to sustain the investigation. They reflect L's agency, ego-driven, but still serving a larger purpose. If L were like Light, the game would have ended the moment he locked up Light. But L's monster was always controlled, always subordinate to his goal. His curiosity and detachment were tools, not masters. What made L dangerous wasn't just that he shared traits with the wolf. It was that he understood it. He had the teeth to match and the patience to wait. Ultimately, it was L's own monster that led to his downfall. His ego, the same trait that he could exploit in Kira, was also his biggest flaw. It made him overconfident. He led too boldly with Lindell Taylor, revealed too much when he showed his face, and underestimated forces beyond his control. By revealing his plan to test the 14-day rule, L inadvertently gave Light the leverage to manipulate Rem into sacrificing herself for Misa. This intervention underscores how even the most controlled masks and monsters can fall victim to unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
Even in death, L's mask and wants to
No one likes it too,
The
I'll tell you
sheepdog's
that
greatest
much.
strength, its understanding of the wolf, was also its undoing, as the wolf turned its cunning into a weapon against him. For L, the surveillance and wiretapping of families connected to the Japanese police force yield no results. He publicly announces to the task force that that specific operation was ending, but privately, he crafts a daring new plan to pressure the main suspect. At the university entrance ceremony, L takes the bold step of introducing himself to Light as L. This move is as much about destabilizing Light as it is about confirming his own suspicions. L praises Light's sense of justice and his interest in the game.
I do generally think the video falls off around the 15-minute mark, and like that's fine. That's not me saying it's a bad video. That's just more of like, I think there's a lot more I could have done going at it. Like there's a lot of different edits that I probably could have done. I think there's a lot of different ways I could have visually demonstrated things, but I still think overall it's a good video. It's just kind of like, I think it's gotten a little repetitive by this point, which is tough.
Kira case, carefully watching for any cracks in Light's composure. The introduction is also a challenge, a way for L to gauge how the monster behind Light's mask handles direct confrontation. This moment underscores the stark imbalance of stakes in their battle. For L, it's about truth. For Light, it's survival. Every interaction with L is a life or death situation. If he falters, if his mask slips for even a second, his monster will be exposed and his entire world will collapse. For L, the stakes are fundamentally different. While he would prefer to win and survive, his ultimate goal is the truth. Even if he dies in the process, unmasking Kira would still constitute a victory in his eyes. L's detachment from self-preservation allows him to act with a freedom that Light can't afford, turning the encounter into a psychological minefield for his opponent. After their introduction, L escalates the tension by inviting Light to a game of tennis. What appears to be a friendly match is, in reality, an intricate dance of strategy and observation. For Light, every decision carries a potential consequence. Should he win, lose, hold back? Each option risks exposing either his intelligence or his monstrous ego. L, meanwhile, uses the match as an opportunity to study Light's monster, lurking just beneath the surface of his carefully maintained mask. This pattern continues at the cafe, where L ups the ante by presenting Light with 3 messages, supposedly written by Kira's victims. When Light identifies the messages are out of order and deduces the correct sequence, L introduces a false 4th message to observe Light's reaction.
Hi everyone, we're
Light hesitates for
Bye,
a
everyone.
fraction of
Hi,
a
new
second
person. We're talking about
before
Death Note.
accepting the
Well,
false premise, knowing
going through
that
my
challenging
last
it would only
Going through my last video and talking about Death Note. Sorry, just quickly getting through it.
raise suspicions. L's commentary, mocking Light for assuming there were only 3 messages, serves as both a taunt and a reminder of the constant danger Light is in. For L, the game is about exposing the truth, not survival. For Light, survival is the game. This fundamental difference defines their conflict. L's monster, detached, objective, and methodical, thrives on pressure, using observation and precision to chip away at Light's mask. Light's monster, ego-driven and fueled by a god complex, struggles to navigate these relentless traps without revealing itself. Every move is a calculated risk for Light, while for L, it's just to test the probabilities. In this dynamic, the mask becomes both a weapon and a liability. The pressure L applies isn't just about uncovering Kira, it's about forcing Light to betray his monster, knowing that no mask can hold up indefinitely under scrutiny. During the second arc of the series, Light is actively involved with the Kira case, while also being its main suspect. In a bold gamble orchestrated by his monster, Light devises a convoluted plan. He gives up ownership of the Death Note, erasing his memories of it. And then the Death Note lands in the hands of the Yotsuba group, who continue Kira's killings. This way, Light and Misa are absolved of any direct connection to the murders. What's fascinating here is that Light's monster gambles. It relinquishes control entirely, trusting that it will regain dominance when the time comes. Monsters thrive on aligning your agency with their desires, manipulating you towards self-destruction if necessary. This gamble is no exception. Light's plan culminates with him voluntarily imprisoning himself, nearly getting filicided in the process. Side note, Light's dad is genuinely cooler than Light in every conceivable way. Someone remind me to make a video about character foils, because Soichiro Yagami is a masterpiece of a character. Comment below if you're interested. Light's monster retreats as he gives up the Death Note and its memories. What emerges is almost a different person. Almost. This version of Light isn't free from his monster. Rather, his agency is no longer under its sway. Without the monster's influence, Light's brilliance and sense of justice shine through. He becomes an incredibly useful ally to L, matching his intellect and determination to catch Kira. His mask of righteousness fits seamlessly into societal expectations, creating a version of Light that's genuinely compelling. However, the monster never truly disappears. It's caged, sure, but not killed. Light is still arrogant, evident in his sharp verbal sparring with L. Their back and forth brims with backhanded compliments and subtle accusations. A verbal chess game that flies over everyone else's heads. Still, Light questions Kira's ethics and even fears the idea that he could be capable of such actions. It's a tantalizing glimpse of what Light could have been. Almost Life of Life-esque if you turn your head and squint. But then, as expected in Death Note, the calm shatters.
Oh damn.
Capacitor course check is okay.
The Death Note resurfaces. Both L and Light touch it, triggering a cascade of chaos. L screams, terrified at the sight of a Shinigami. Light, however, screams for a very different reason. His innocence dies as his memories flood back, or maybe he's just in pain. Regaining memories of your worst actions can't be pleasant. But even with this moment of clarity, Light's path is set in stone. Let's take a step back. That scrap of paper that was in Light's watch's hidden compartment, did he forget that was there? Like, I mean the compartment itself, not the piece of paper. Like, did he just never know that about his watch after he lost his memories? Also, who even owns a watch with a secret compartment without anyone questioning it? The fact that nobody noticed or cared remains hilariously convenient to me, but I digress. The key takeaway here isn't the logistics of the watch or the mechanics of memory transfer. It's the cautionary tale embedded in Light's arc. The story shows us what Light could have been without his monster's dominance. Memory lost Light is a person of intellect and potential, uncorrupted by his worst impulses. But those impulses were always there. The Death Note didn't create Light's monster, it simply gave it a stage to shine on. The tragedy lies in the choices. Many argue that absolute power corrupts absolutely, but that interpretation misses the mark here. Light, like all of us, has ego, desire, and flaws. His monster is an extension of himself, as is his mask. But the deepest layer, his agency, defines who he is. Light chose his path. And once those impulses took root, the Light who questioned Kira's ethics, who collaborated earnestly with L, was forever lost. The monster's gamble succeeded. Now, the Kira Task Force has the Death Note, a Shinigami to consult, and new rules added by Light to further muddy the waters. It's a chilling reminder that the monster, once unleashed, always plans for the long game. Memory Lost Light shows us the person Light could have been. A person who glimpsed freedom from his monster, but was ultimately consumed by it. The tragedy isn't just in what he became, but in the fleeting moment of what he could have been. If you made it this far, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate your time. Up to now, we followed Death Note chronologically, dissecting its masks and monsters along the way. Where we are headed next is a point of contention among fans. Some stop watching after L's death, feeling the show loses its spark. Others power through, embracing Nier and Mello as worthy successors. No matter where you stand, L's death is pivotal. A masterful, tragic culmination of his battle with Kira. After presenting the task force with his plan to test the 14-day rule, L senses something foreboding. Call it intuition, foresight, or simply the weight of his war against Kira. His mask, sharp and analytical, recognizes the stakes. Yet his monster, detached and methodical, still sees a path to victory. The tragedy of L's death lies in this delicate balance. His mask and monster work in harmony, but even harmony can't account for the unknown. A literal god of death intervening to protect Misa. On his final day, L takes a calculated gamble. He leans into Light's ego and god complex, placating the monster behind Light's mask. But monsters, like Light's, thrive on being placated, twisting it into some sense of justification. L's decision isn't mere arrogance, it's a reflection of his monster. The same risk-taking intellect that taunted Kira with the 5% probability back in episode 9 is still here. It's not hubris, it's temperance. L believed his methodical approach could outlast and outwit the wolf, but he underestimated the chaos a god of death could unleash. The irony of L's downfall is that the methodology that brought him so close to unmasking Kira also led to his undoing. L's reliance on logic and deduction was no match for supernatural forces. How could anyone anticipate that Rem would sacrifice herself for Misa? This isn't to absolve L of blame. His tendency to control the narrative, to reveal his methodology to Light early on, gave his opponent's monster opportunities to exploit. Still, let's be real. Light got lucky, time and time again. His monster thrived not on brilliance alone, but on chance, manipulation, and external forces tipping the scales. L fought the wolf and nearly won, but his temperance, his faith in order and logic, was no match for the chaotic intervention of a god. L's death is heartbreaking because it feels both inevitable and avoidable at the same time. His monster didn't betray him, but his commitment to control and temperance limited his adaptability. The sheepdog fell not because the wolf was stronger, but because the sheepdog couldn't see the divine hand dictating the game. The battle between monsters isn't just a trope. It's a lens through which to view history and conflict. Think Alma Coin and President Snow, Hitler and Stalin, Light and L. One monster must devour the other, and both wear masks to justify their actions. Perhaps you think history is written by the victors. Morality is subjective, and Nier and Mello never surpassed L. They just got lucky. I disagree. Nier and Mello represent L's monster untempered. They discarded his need for balance and, in doing so, capitalized on Light's mistakes. They were the Stalin to Light's Hitler, wielding their monstrosity without the constraints of L's calculated control. L had to placate the task force, work within societal norms, and manage the optics of his methods. Nier and Mello faced no such restraints. Their methods, unfair as they may seem, worked. Just as Light's monster thrived when it acted without care, so too did L's successors when they leaned fully into their monstrous side. The difference? They were just on L's side, and Light had to practice the temperance L had to. He couldn't kill his sister, his father took the deal instead of Matsuda. The irony of that is poetic, by the way. But Light, who acted without restraint, was ultimately undone by the very restraint he once capitalized on. Light didn't lose because Nier outsmarted him, he lost because Mikami fumbled the plan. Just as Light didn't win against L, Rem did. Luck played a role in both outcomes.
Still at 8.
Cornered and...
Let's see. I believe so. I might be at 9 now. We'll see. We're at 9 now. We have 9. You missed the certified DILF moment, or maybe you were there. I forget. But we have 9 now.
Desperate, Light's mask shatters. He just laughed, revealed himself as Kira, and claimed victory. Just for nothing to happen. In turn, Mikami abandons him, declaring Light no god. When he says no one could do this except him, Nier cuts through his delusions, calling him a murderer. Matsuda, the naive, underestimated one, who Light's father probably liked more, shoots him when Light pulls out a piece of the Death Note. Light's mask is gone, and his monster is laid bare, wounded, crying, and pleading for his life. Light becomes everything he denied being. Weak, human, and utterly pathetic. He begs Ryuk to save him, to kill everyone else. Ryuk, ever detached, appeases him by writing Light's name in the Death Note. In those
It was so dope.
final 40 seconds, we see Light for what he truly is. A fucking bitch, begging for mercy he would never have granted others. It's a triumphant ending, not because Light loses, but because his monster is finally defeated. He dies, not as a god, but as the flawed human he always was. If I sound harsh, it's because Light deserves it. If you proclaim yourself a god, kill thousands for your ego, and then declare yourself the sole arbiter of justice in the world, don't cry like a fucking bitch when some lowly godslayer shows up and shoots you. Like, skill issue king, just play better. I started this essay with Elle's speech because it sparked a single question. What monster are you? It's a question that's lingered with me for years. Sure, I've shared my answer, but now I want to know yours. Monsters are real, but they don't live under your bed. They live behind your mask. No, you're not Bundy or some irredeemable stain on humanity.
Thank you.
If you can't be honest with yourself, if you can't admit there's a part of you capable of self-destruction, then maybe you are closer to Light Yagami than you'd like to admit. Monsters aren't inherently evil. They're not something to fear. They're cowards, bound to the mask we wear. But here's the thing. The mask will always betray the monster, so it doesn't make sense to deny it. Unpacking the nuance of Death Note, its masks, its monsters, it wasn't easy. And I'm sure there's more to say and there's something I missed. But if you walk away with 3 things, I'll consider this a win. 1, monsters are real. They exist in all of us, our desires, fears, and instincts, constantly working to serve our egos. 2, you can't rid yourself of your monster, but you can learn to channel it to ensure it serves you rather than the other way around. 3, awareness is key. Mastering the balance between mask and monster isn't easy, but it's worth it. And finally, Light Yagami is a fucking bitch. Yeah, I know I said 3 takeaways, but this one couldn't be overstated. Light Yagami's a fucking bitch, okay? I said it, alright? Get mad, whatever. Media is more than a mirror. It reflects, sure, but it also critiques and calls us to action. Death Note is a mirror that doesn't flinch. It goes over the top to show us what lies beneath our masks. The persistent question of why defines its brilliance. Why didn't Death Note end with Elle's death? Why didn't Light create his perfect world? That answer is up to you, but for me, the biggest clue lies in Elle's monologue. You could say it critiques Japan's prison system, or it explores different themes of justice, and you'd be right.
Damn, dude, the ads really do be getting it. Really be your own content, too, you know?
But for me, the takeaway is simple. Monsters aren't bad. They're human. They're you. They're me. The difference lies in what we do with them. Hey guys, it's me, a beef sauce.
Yeah, so then at the end of my videos, what I do is I post a reflection of just how I thought, how the video went, and what I think I could have done differently. I think it's a nice little touch to be like, hey, you know, we're still working on it. But yeah, so that's that. I want to drop this link. Can I drop this link? Un momento. Let's see if this works. But in case anyone wants to join, if not, understood. Damn, YouTube really do be insane. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's take that and let's go off. This one? No. This one is the one I want. That goes there. That goes there. And we're back. Back to the tunes. Is that right? Why does this look like this? Like, there has to be a better... Is it because it's on this side? It is. Okay. It's good to know. Do, 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 do. Do. Okay. Perfect. Alright. I'm on like the last part of this, and I think I'm gonna finish it and probably stop streaming. But I mean, I should be posting a short tomorrow and recording and doing other good stuff, so that's nice. But it's some death sentence and let's see. No. Nostalgia. It's like I want to use the term nostalgia Nazi, but that's probably not a move. I'm also a massive horror fan. I'm not... What the fuck am I even trying to say here? I'm gonna say franchise where its skin scoop peddled dog shit and then had the gall to tell me the fans are the problem. Fuck you. Static cut, color bars, bleep sound. Okay, I'm done. And another thing. Cut the black, hard cut the horror film scene, killer's motive. He goes through how trauma needs, everyone has, if you have trauma you need to kill yourself, and he's like, well, you did a lot of traumatizing things to get here, so shouldn't you also be ending yourself? And he's like, well, no, that's not how it works. So it's, this is true. I don't think elevated horror bad. I don't think. It's just a genre that was in. Is a rehash? Rehash the right word? I don't know if rehash is the right word. Just a genre that is a rehash of older horror tropes. Okay, where was I? Sorry about that. Let's see. I'd argue that I can't think of words. Where the hell was I? They represent Scream. Wait, Scream was forward thinking and provided error. Where is this? There we go. But I don't think it came out. Hey Tom, welcome back. How you doing? I'm like finishing up this whole thing. I'll be like done in a little bit. Not the stream, but like, well, probably the stream, but at least the writing here. Why is this all 14? That makes no sense. There you go. Praise the Lord. I'm happy you're back. I think it came out to provide us with great-great-grandparents got the novels of Gothic horror. Oh, it's a Gothic horror. Okay. Probably should add the music back, but it's whatever. The Gothic horror, and I'm... Not harem, Jesus Christ. Maybe that works for you, and if it does, thanks for getting here. But for me, well. Hello, hello. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Just finishing this up. But for me, it feels like we've been pigeonholed. Okay, and I think our horror should be written. England text ended with hope. Scream ends with hope. These movies. Then we would fade to black. Fade in the last scene from the movie. Oh, you guys can't see this. Whoops-a-daisy. Well, guys, considering the Death Note one took me about 4 weeks to write, and this one took me a week, I'll call that a dub, you know? I'll call that a win. We finished her up. Very happy about that. I'm probably going to be ending stream in like the next 5. Just want to see how this ends up going. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, Tom. I know you're back. Not like I said. I do apologize. I will be streaming again. I can't do Friday. Probably over the weekend. I think. Not probably. Think Sunday. I'm probably gonna stream again on Sunday just because I want to get back into that groove of getting things done. But I am very happy with how this turned out. I'm not even kidding. Like this worked really well. Sorry, I'm just like finishing up a little bit. Thank you. Well, of course, you're more than welcome to check out the Hell of a Boss React playlist. I need to finish that too. I guess I could do that on stream. Yeah, that's probably the right call, is to just do the rest of my reactions on stream. Either way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to dip. I hope you have a good one. I had a blast meeting you.